Hello everyone, this is Oki42, moin. Today we're gonna take a look at controller hinges in Scrap Mechanic because I haven't seen a lot of people using them and they are especially great in survival and a very cheap alternative to pistons. They are side by side here and you can see this is a level 1 piston and they behave exactly the same with the only difference that you are using a controller here and you don't need to upgrade them to extend this even further. And yeah, but this is just one of the many advantages to hinges. And before I'm going to show you how to build one yourself, I want to show you a few things you can do with them. Let's jump into it. In my opinion, the biggest advantage of hinges over pistons is the ability to scale them very, very cheaply. You just need to add longer pipes here to make this hinge go further. For a piston, you need the very expensive component kits in survival to make it go further. And yeah, for this one, just pipes. And as you can see, we put this in a loop, just as we did with the piston, so they perform simultaneously. You can see the movement isn't linear. It's changing a bit as you go further. But yeah, in most cases, I think this is not a problem. And you can see the bearings are performing very well. This is a very heavy concrete block on the piston and on the hinges as well. And it's not too wobbly. It's wobbling a bit here in the back, but all in all, not a problem. And if you really have to move heavy objects on your piston, you can also add guiding rails. Adding a guiding track to the object you want to move with your hinge is actually pretty advantageous, as now you can see we only need to power this one bearing. Those two here are freely moving, so we can get away with a controller level 1 to, yeah, basically have an infinitely extendable piston without the need for further component kits or additional pistons in the worst case. And yeah, the other advantage is you can add very heavy objects here and well, actually, if we only need one bearing to be powered, there are some other things we can do. So let's look at those other things. Being able to build a hinge that is controllable with just one bearing actually makes it possible to control the hinge with a motor. And yeah, I built this water cannon, for example. I can actually control freely with the W and S key. So you could build this early game water cannon, for example, and it would actually be you would actually be able to build this just using the scrap parts available very early in the game. But then on the other hand, you would need the craft bot to do the water cannons. So yeah, not the most useful thing in the universe. But then again, knowledge is power, so you never know when this may gonna be useful. I also used this combination of a guiding track and a hinge in my fully automated watering machine I showed you in another video. I'll put a link right there in the corner. So you can see there's only one bearing in the middle part controlled. So this feature is very useful if you want to build a big automated machine and want to get away using less controllers. Of course, you can also use your hinges to build defenses like this one. This saw swings back and forth its center point and reaches higher speeds than possible with a regular piston. Another funny thing you can build with the hinges is this turret. You can actually control the saw going back and forth with the W and S key. This is controlled by the controller. And then I can move left and right just with the steering of the seat, and the engine is only to turn the saw. So yeah, maybe you can put this on a wood cutting vehicle and very precisely cut down your trees. And Or you can even use this for defense against the evil robots trying to destroy your farm. The choice is yours. I think my favorite gadget to build with a hinge with a controller is a very huge elevator. This elevator is just using a level 1 controller, and now see how fast it goes. It's on the slowest setting, and I think those are maybe 30 blocks. I'm not sure, but very high. I think even more, maybe 40 blocks. And you can see this is powered only by one bearing. The other ones are freely moving and not contributing to the linear motion. And wow, see how fast this goes. This would be very practical in a survival situation when you wanted to build on a big tree or maybe on the roof of the workshop. The possibilities are endless, and yeah, I think this really shows how powerful hinges are and how many different things you can do with them. So, well, now the only thing I need to do is show you how to build them. Now I would like to show you how to build your own hinge. In this case, we will build this very long hinge for the water cannon. So it's best to start your build on the side. In this case, I will just add a pipe facing sideways. And I add 5 long pipes and curved pipe, another bearing, and then we go back down. And then you will need to add another bearing right where your starting point is. Now we can delete the wooden block, add some kind of foundation wherever you want to place your hinge. Then of course add a bearing, get your first pipe, and then build this facing up. Now you need to add a controller so your hinge doesn't fall down, and a switch. You need in this case to upgrade it to level 3 at least. And power all your bearings. And now you can test if the direction is right by just make it like this, 15, 30, 15. Okay, we can see this one is wrong, this one's right, and this should be, yeah, facing in the front. Just play around a bit, you'll get the hang of it. Now we can change our starting conditions, and now everything should be back to normal. Okay, now if you hooked up the bearings like I did, you can do, for example, 60 degrees for 1 and 3. And now for the second bearing, you need double whatever you inserted here. 1 and 3 have to be the same. So double 60 is 120. And now this should move forward like this. You can see this is a very, very long reach. And you can even higher the speed, and it should be all fine. We can add water cannon, for example. Facing down, of course. And now, this is going very fast. Congratulations, you just built your first hinge. If you don't want to upgrade your controller to level 3, you can get away with a controller level 1 by adding guiding tracks. This is exactly the same build I did for my infinitely scalable watering machine, so if you want to know how to build this one, please go ahead and watch my other video. But yeah, just to prove you that I'm really telling you the truth, This is the only powered bearing here, and you can see this is our controller level 1. Just in a loop, 150 degrees back and forth. That's all there is. So you see, the possibilities are really infinite here, and it's way cheaper to use hinges for very long reach and high speeds than pistons. So I hope I'll see a lot more hinges in your builds in the future. So if you like the video and want to see more crazy hinge builds, please like and subscribe. And of course, leave a comment if you build your own crazy hinge machine. I'm very curious to see all your creations. This was Augie42. See you in the next video. Bye.